You're live.
And this is the T-bill conference committee with the House and Senate members, and we're here with David Leonard from Ledge Council, and we are down to, I think, really 3 issues and maybe a tiny little thing off the side.
Yeah, I think that is correct. I think I still have the non-emergency medical transportation and demand response transportation marked as open. I think the House was considering what the language on that and reviewing it.
We were able to connect with the chair of our multiple House health related pieces, and I think that we're good with that.
Okay. So that's closed.
Okay.
So that would be sections 26 through 30.
Yep.
Well, actually, I'm gonna send. I do have an updated document. Megan.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, I will close those.
In the unbalanced reserve fund, I think we could probably just eliminate that, right? That's only the second, was that second, 3 to 4?
Section 3.
Right. I don't know if there's really need for that. Yeah, I suppose we can.
They're going
We could be able to do shortfall.
They're going to do rescissions.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to do rescission. So they've already got a, so how, my question, how would this just fit into?
I mean, we don't have to put the dollar number in there. We could say that just ensure an unobligated balance is there to balance the P5.
Right. And we know that we're down to.
If there's more money on the bottom line currently, then that's potentially.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we have to do that. It's kind of what they do anyway.
Yeah, the only thing I would be concerned about if we're not leaving an exact dollar amount in there is that you're leaving it so that you don't have clear guidance for them if they're already going to be balanced.
We already will have 500 on the bottom line.
Yeah, against your
against that. So what we're really talking about is something, another 160.
So
331,000 for the SSI, right?
331,000 for SSI, 15,000 for foster care, and I'm missing one, Logan. It's
For municipal,
The money currently in
the
the DMV bill,
yeah.
so SSI is out, as I understand it, correct?
Yeah,
we're just talking about that bill.
It goes either way.
Not from our position.
Correct. Okay, so yes, the total cost out of the Senate was $353,000.
Yeah.
Currently how the House has it, it's $44,000. As the T-bill stands right now, there is money to cover either version of the DMV bill. Correct. Section 3 is not strictly needed because of the pilot fund money that is now being introduced. So,
And I think at this point, we're at your mercy on, if anything got done on, the forestry piece.
Yeah.
So, to be realistic, that's probably not happening,
At least not this year.
at least not this year.
Yeah.
So we are below the $500,000 level. So do we need to say anything here?
I don't see a reason that you do. I'm
not
seeing
from a
my colleagues from jail.
budget standpoint.
Yeah.
So are we ready to?
I guess my only question would be if the House side chooses, there's the foster money doesn't need to be specifically called out in any place.
No, because even if you do foster money and SSI, SSDI, you're still below the 550,000 that you have
Okay, great.
left over from the pilot fund transfer.
So we're
Yep.
take the section out.
Great.
It's leaves two.
And you had language that you presented to us. What I've heard back is, the only thing that, we take that language, except, the date of the report of January 15th. We would rather have the date December 15th. That's, generally across the board. I think GovOps and, all of our Senate committees are now asking that instead of reports being in January, so it would standardize them with all the rest of the reports.
Yep.
Then the language that was presented to us with that adjustment, I think we're ready.
This is section 32.
Yep.
32
That's it.
there.
That one,
There's one little.
Oh, that's right.
we
What
have,
is that?
did we close section 4 by the way? Did we? I know that was we did on the management. Yeah, I had that still open, but
Hold on a
we
second.
did.
I thought we
Getting
closed.
there.
Oh, maybe we did.
I think the only thing technically was just the state recouping all the money is I referring to as the federal. I don't know if we actually talked about that. I think our side was fine because of that potential 250 coming down from the feds to not, for the intent language where we said, you know, if possible, recoup the state and federal taxes. You know, and I think we were fine with that. To just go with your position. Yeah.
We just, we were on that roll of agreement there for a while.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it leaves legal trails as the one remaining issue.
What about what happened with the regular?
That was section 30.
that was the language that they handed us
Oh, yeah.
yesterday.
Okay.
We adjusted that so the report would come back in December, not January. So we know you guys are behind us, and we know that you took some testimony this morning and, and I would, because we've got, 15 minutes at most to get back to the floor of the Senate. And it would be my hope that we could work something out or figure a path forward by 2:30 today. And then at 2:30, if we could come to agreement on that, and Damien could have, the sheets ready to go. If we're able to agree on a path forward, that we would sign this afternoon. And totally understand we spent more time on legal trails than that. So whatever you wanna.
And whatever you did, you certainly managed to stir up plenty of attention. The inbox dings on a regular.
Yes,
A
we
regular.
have. Yes, we have.
So we do have an opportunity to find out a little bit more. We've got a couple of kind of meetings to hear some more positions on it. We're going back to the DMV bill in committee, but we've got other couple of opportunities for the three of us to get together. And we ask for a couple of other testimonies that are coming our way. So we would really like to be prepared to settle up for 2:30 and whatnot, but I guess we'll.
Trying to find a path forward and stay tuned to be determined how that's gonna conclude, but I think we'll have potential options
Okay.
to throw your way.
So down to one.
2:30. And I'm gonna ask you to have some options ready to go in paperwork, so if we did something one way, and have a sign up sheet, so.
I will get stuff ready to go. So what I'll do for 2:30 is I'll have the base committee report done and edited. And then I will have, so one of the options is delaying the effective date. One of the options is taking it out. One of the options is keeping it in. And then the fourth sort of variation on the keeping it in is adding an intent language that says it's the intent of the General Assembly to prospectively clarify the law with respect to the town's right to maintain legal trails. And I'll clean that language up with Tucker, and I can have all of those versions ready. You guys can think about what you want to do, and then I can drop it into the report. And hopefully at that point, we won't need to go through another edit if everything else is closed.
Okay.
So, but I'll try to get that ready for 2:30. It's gonna be a little tight, but I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
So,
Perfect.
Well, I guess you should postpone the work you were doing for us.
while you guys are back and forth in here, I'm also editing that bill.
If you have to put that on.
How do you feel about the intent language? We did see some intent language that we didn't fully discuss as a committee that was presented by Sandra Harrison at one point that maybe that's.
Well, may I speak to that? Okay, since it was never public.
Oh,
But it's fine. It's your choice whether it becomes public. That was intent language, which would be tied to a delay, or leaving it out. And it basically spoke to, an intent to get clarity and then make additional changes based on the clarity. If the parties want to see that, I can also include that. That's been edited. So I can have that available. But yeah, that's another intent option if you choose to either delay or, do a delayed effective date or leave the language out this year and then return to it next year. So I understand that you all have a number of things besides just the potential legal issues that are weighing on you with this case. So I'll draft up options and then we'll see where we get to. Great.
And we'll meet you back here at 2:30.
Sounds good.
And hopefully we can get the